1. And there.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to a Overwatch Contenders Week 1, Day 1, Round 2 matchup between Pirates and Pyjamas and Amplify. I am Podslim right over there. To my right, was also left because I pointed that way, is Dividing by Zero. Dividing just got off of a match.
I'm on a different stream now. Hi, guys.
He is back over here ready to cast once again. And, you know, I was tuning into both of these teams' matches a little bit ago because both of them just came off of a game. Pirates and Pyjamas coming off of a 3-1 win. Amplify coming off of a rough 3-2 loss. So, it's definitely going to be interesting to see if they're able to bounce back. Are we able to, make some changes in the mental, or is it just going to be all downhill?
I will say, when we're talking about this Amplify roster that did just come off of a pretty tough 3-2 loss, this is basically an all-new roster, right? Yeah. When you compare this team to the team that played in Contenders Spring Series, the only starter that's still there is PGE. Doge, Tap, Carrots, Buddy, they're all new players here. So there's going to be a little bit of growing pains, especially with that first matchup that happened. There is a ton of experience on this roster. This is definitely a much stronger roster, I think, than the Amplify Spring Series roster. They have former Contenders experience, and Doge Tap was destroying the collegiate ladder last fall. Buddy just got a ton of awesome experience on Team Netherlands, so there's a lot of things to like about this Amplify roster, and even though they are 0-1 so far, you're definitely looking at them to bounce back.
Yeah, don't count them out is the name of the game for this. But let's not also count out Pirates, who, just like we were saying, came off of a 3-1 victory, and they themselves looking pretty comfortable. Didn't go all the way to 5 maps because they wanted to get it done in 4. They wanted to have a little bit of a bigger rest period before this match. They knew they had to go use the bathroom, get some water and everything like that. And this roster also has some interesting aspects to it as well, different facets, just looking at it right here. I mean, you got Strider, Scissors, Chronic, Z-Man, and then Zolek. And, just looking at some of the newer guys, I mean, for example, Chronic is a rookie. I mean, something you got to look out for is there's another member of Pirates who's also a rookie, not currently in the starting roster, but that does not make it any different. Having newer players to a team and to the scene in general could really make a difference, because it makes it hard for people like us, casters, spectators, everyone else. It's hard to always evaluate how they're going to do at the very start, because sometimes if it's a rookie, if it's a newer player and they really do poor in their first few matches, then it's like, oh, okay, let's just give up on them. But if they really shine in those first few games, and it's really going to encourage teams, hey, we need to give this person a lot more opportunity, we need to give this person a lot more playing time. And then you see them starting to make bigger rosters, starting to really center themselves in the scene. And I know Chronic is going to try and do that here in Contenders and start off this first week with going 2-0.
And I will say Chronic is in a very good position to do so, kind of being injected into a core that has carried over from Spring Series. Scissors, Strider, Z-Man, and even Jolik was not a player for Pirates and Pyjamas last season, but was a coach. So coming back in as a player has kind of been going back and forth between the two roles for this squad. But 4 players that have worked together in Pirates and Pyjamas for the last couple of months, at least since the Spring Series, some of which even a little bit before that. So being able to, going back to the first round when I watched X10 do a very good job, it was a very similar situation where the rookie was put into a situation where they just had to inject that extra little bit of oomph into an already existing core. And when that happens, there's a little bit less of pressure on you when you know that this core has done well before. Pirates and Pyjamas, a team that has made playoffs. So a team that is obviously looking to repeat that. And I think they're looking for their rookie DPS to provide that extra little boost to get even further than the top 8.
That is the name of the game. You know, if you can make playoffs, then it is anyone's game. Everyone is equal there. What you did in the regular season doesn't matter as much, but definitely getting better seeding in playoffs is always going to help a team make a run into the rest of it. You know, go to quarterfinals, semifinals, and even the whole shebang, grand finals, all that. But it all starts here. All starts week 1, day 1, with the first map being Lijiang Tower, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Amplify just got done playing Lijiang Tower.
A little bit of a slap in the face, really. Amplify just lost Lijiang, lost their first contenders matchup on Lijiang Tower. So what happens in round 2? Get right back on there and try again. At least now you can kind of get the same. It's fresh in your mind, right? And so I think definitely this team is thinking, hey, we've got to be able to turn this around the second time. So as we head into our first match, I can't see which sub-map we are on quite yet based off of this room. It looks like based on the little bit I see of the outside, we're going to be starting off on Gardens, the most open of the 3. That is going to allow Strider to play his signature Wrecking Ball, who one of the best in the world at this character. We're going to see why really quick.
And anyone who has played any level of competitive Overwatch all the way from bronze to top 500 knows that a good Wrecking Ball can make all the difference in a game. And we see Power Boost just getting hacked off the map by Chronic. That is a tilter off the very start if I've ever seen one. And gotta fall back already. No, he actually falls. He's going to die to Scissors, and Strider comes in and wrecks Buddy as well. And holy moly, Pirates already taking a commanding. Strider gets another one.
And this is what I'm talking about, right? Strider is just so insane at Wrecking Ball, is able to just get every little inch of value that you can get out of this character, you get it. It is so good what Pirates and Pyjamas have out of this tank player right now, but watch out for Tap, already 80% of the way to that Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, nice Pulse Bomb onto any of the members of Amplify can turn a fight, and they're already getting some decent percentage. 23%, we see Center is going to fall. Buddy could be next, trying to climb up on the wall. He's going to use the Suzu on himself and have to TP out, but Scissors is still on the run, still in the back line. Gets one, gets two. Can he get another onto PGE? Is going to use that Translocator back out, but 2 kills is still pretty solid for a Tracer who's very low to dying.
Oh, absolutely. As Pirates and Pyjamas doing a fantastic job holding on to this point so far without using any ultimates. They're going to have pretty much all 5 coming up in this next one. That being said, PGE almost up to that EMP. If you're able to time that right, that could nullify everything that Pip has been building up to.
Oh, Chronic going to use the EMP for himself. Power Boost is already going to fall. The Pulse Bomb's going to land onto Buddy, who falls as well. Supports are dead for Amplify. Tap falls as well. It's a 2v5. I don't think they have the gusto to win this one, Dividing.
These fights have been so quick, too. Like, these are 3 fights. In a lot of cases, the series, it's not the series, but the round is over after 3, maybe 4 fights. We're going to have plenty of time here for Amplify to regroup and try and go in for one more, which the silver lining of these fights ending so fast is that they weren't able to use any ultimate. So EMP, Kitsune Rush, Beat, all coming up. And immediately, a solo EMP onto Chronic gets absolutely nothing, but it does get the beat out of Joel.
Yeah, I think that was a desperation EMP at most, but Strider with the 2K off of the mines. PGE, the lone member of Amplify, alive, trying to get back onto the point. It's not going to matter. Pirates, 100-0 on Gardens, and they are looking just as well as they did coming off of their other match.
Yeah, they are looking to continue that that momentum that they had earlier on in the maps. Earlier on in the first series. So keeping that momentum going early on, but now as we head on to Control Center, it is going to force Strider to move on to a Ramatra as the team prepares to play Brawl. And this is kind of the concern about Pirates and Pyjamas for me, is that before they picked up Eric in free agency from Europe, last time around, they just had Strider at tag, who was amazing at Wrecking Ball, is struggling to prove himself as being able to play more heroes at the same level. It's not bad Ramattra by any means, but the Wrecking Ball just seems so much better.
Yeah, having someone who's really good at an off-meta pick can really just throw some teams for a loop. But we see Amplify taking a pretty dominating stance so far. Immortality Field is going to fall out of Buddy, but Chronic going to pick up the first kill of the map on Power Boost. And it doesn't like Pirates. They don't care how much positioning you have when they have a flanking Hanzo of all heroes. You know, just that's when I think of a flanking hero in this game, I definitely think of Hanzo.
Well, yeah, Hanzo is, well, depends on how you play it. Maybe the way that Chronic plays
I don't
it
think we're talking about the same word here. Does flanking mean what you think it means?
Does flanking mean what you think it means? Well, what it definitely means is, hey, look, the overlay is here. A little bit late, but it's got the spirit. But it's the Hanzo provide Pirates and Pyjamas with a level of long-range pressure that Amplify does not get out of their Mei Symmetra combo. This is a very close-range comp they're running right now, and they're just getting outranged by Chronic.
Z-Man picks up a kill onto Buddy with Chronic getting another one himself, and it is not looking like it's going to slow down anytime soon. This Hanzo is just on a tear on Control Center, and I was watching Amplify's last matchup against Splash, and they tried to run this Mei Symmetra comp, and I was sitting in a call with some of the other production members, and I was saying I don't like them running this Symmetra. I just don't think it is very good on Control Center, especially just like you were saying, into the range that Pirates have. Pirates have 5 ultimates and 65%. They have everything at their disposal. Amplify really have to outplay, and right there, Z-Man just picks up a kill onto PGE, and now you're at 75% just about. Chronic gets another kill. Tap is going to fall as well. Buddy needs to die so he can get a reset off. And it's just not looking very good. 80%. Can they even get close to the point?
I mean, they're going to be able to get one more contest, probably. They're going to have 4 ultimates of their own coming up onto this next fight. But the problem is dealing with the aggression and the poke the Pirates and Pyjamas are just relentlessly putting down on them. I mean, Doge's shield is getting melted down immediately. They're going to be offered safe passage by the wall, but the Dragon is going to take down PGE. Doge goes down immediately as well, almost goes down, but manages to stay alive just long enough thanks to the beat of Power Boost.
Yeah, and Strider's using that Annihilation, trying to pick up the kill onto Tap on the point. Tap has no more Icicle, and is going to pick up a kill onto Chronic, though, so that's something for you. But 2 100-0s on Lijiang Tower, and Pirates picking up right where they left off.
It feels like both teams kind of picking up where they left off, unfortunately, Pod. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pirates and Pyjamas played really, really well. They clearly understood the compositions that they wanted to play. 2 very different compositions when it came to Gardens and then Control Center, and they played them both incredibly effectively. It just felt like Amplify after that Map 5 loss. It's really tough to bring yourself back and go in for a second game right afterwards. I think Amplify are better than what they showed in that first map. They're just a little bit deflated after such a high pressure moment didn't quite end up working out for them, and then they have to turn around and get ready for another game literally 5 minutes later. So it's a tough position to be put in for Amplify. It has not worked out for them well to start off, but now they can get away from Lijiang Tower finally and fully reset.
Yeah, they are the ones who are going to have this next map pick. I'm not sure if Lijiang was their pick or not. I believe Pirates had the pick. I'm not too sure, like I said, but it is going to be their choice for this next map, so they can pick something that they are more comfortable on. Maybe they've practiced a lot more, but yeah, I mean, you made the call of it at the very start, and then going into the middle of Control Center and just getting outranged. I mean, you're just not able to keep up with the poke of Chronic's Hanzo, just really able to destroy the Rhine shields, able to destroy health bars. It doesn't even matter. You're like, yeah, you can throw down that immortality field, but it's just going to take 1 or 2 Hanzo arrows, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and you really don't have that much protection. And not only that, you can't get to him. He's so far in the back line. He's up there on that little terrace, on that little walkway, and you have to go all the way around because you don't have anyone that can really contest him. You don't have a Tracer, you don't have a Sombra, you don't even have a Hanzo yourself. It's makes it incredibly difficult to contest that. And it's with just like you were saying, such a stark difference from what it was on Gardens, it shows that versatility that Pirates are able to work with. They're like, all right, we are not able to play just one comp. We can play numerous comps, and we can play them exceptionally well.
So Amplify taking a moment to take a deep breath now and reset themselves, try and get themselves back into a competitive mindset here, as we are going to be going to Nimbani for map number 2, which is very anti-brawl, is what I'll say. You have a lot of... you could play brawl, I guess, but it would make point A specifically incredibly difficult with the high grounds that are just surrounding that point A objective. That definitely plays itself a lot better to Dive. It plays itself a lot better to Pharah as well. I saw some Pharah being played by Amplify in that map 5 against Lijiang Towers, so maybe they're trying to go back towards that scenario.
Yeah, just like you're saying, you can play the brawl, but I think if you're wanting to play the brawl, you have to get past that first point, because then it's a little bit more manageable. There is still a lot of high ground on that first little escort portion. On the second one, not as much. There's a few places, but it's very, very seldom that you see anyone playing them. But yeah, if this might be a good time to bust out the Symmetra. If you're wanting to play brawl, you can TP up onto that high ground, really try and force, if someone's playing Ana, if someone's playing Ashe, really just try and get in their face, make a difference. And who knows, maybe Chronic will go back onto that Hanzo and play that high ground. But just like you were saying, Dive, I think, is infinitely better to play on Nimbani, and
at least on A.
Yes, at least on A. And Amplify, they need to hope that they did not get tilted too far off of the face of the earth after that map 5 loss and then losing this one immediately. We see Pirates and Pyjamas. What is that? Is that a ball on defense?
You can do whatever you want if you're Strider. I don't know if you've seen how much you know about Strider. Strider can make Wrecking Ball work anywhere. Don't you worry. This player has infinite hours on this character, has been in every situation in the book. So you can absolutely make it. Now, I will say, if you're going to have Chronic playing the Ashe, you do kind of like having some character that can be up there with the Ashe maybe and be able to take some of the hits when Tap comes in with the Echo. Mercy goes after that Ashe, but you are putting a lot of trust in this rookie DPS player to be able to pull off the successful defense. And when it comes to Strider, I think the goal of this composition is just to distract and discombobulate and knock people around and make it difficult to get their jobs done.
Yeah, we do see Amplify are running a dive composition themselves. We see the Winston, we see the Tracer, we see the Echo themselves. We see a bit of a split, path with each of these teams. Winston trying to get up there, but getting knocked off by Zolik's Brigitte right there. And we see Power Boost already going to fall to Strider, and Scissors just trying to make work of it as well. And Pirates and Pyjamas, they're just sitting comfortably.
Yeah, this is a very slow composition from Amplify. Doge is trying to jump forward, kind of leapfrog your way to the point on that Winston and be able to buy space for Tap and PGE to get around to the side and try to attack the more squishy members of Pirates and Pyjamas. I'm talking Chronic, I'm talking Z-Man. But as of right now, finally they are able to break through. Tap with a nice little piece of aggression takes down Chronic, and now that's the opening you wanted. One tick already acquired for Amplify.
Yeah, Amplify getting towards 2 ticks himself, and Strider, I think he's in a place that he does not want to be, is going to fall. It looks like Amplify are going to secure it. Just got to step off. Okay, there we go. They did get the point. Now the payload is in their possession. Zolik and Z-Man are going to fall right here, and Scissors just trying to buy some more time, just trying to stall a little bit for his team to, get those respawns back, just try and push back in, and now Amplify, they are sitting pretty. They had just about 5 minutes on the time bank whenever they secured that point. And that is always a nice thing on Numbani. And the pulse bomb just barely going wide onto Tap. That would have been a nice pick.
Chronic moving on to the Sombra is really interesting to me. It might synergize a little bit better with this comp, but now you really don't have anything to deal with Tap in the sky. It's very short range DPS right now. I guess Strider and Z-Man can technically touch you, but it's really not a consistent way to deal with a flying DPS paired with the Mercy.
Yeah, we see Scissors just absolutely popping off on this Tracer pick right here. And, you know, there's one of two ways to play against a flying character like Pharah and Echo, and it is, you know, pick a hit scan, try and counter it directly, or just rush the rest of the team. And if you can kill the rest of the team, then it doesn't matter if they're getting pocketed in the sky. See right there, I mean, Buddy just goes down. There's nothing that he can do against the Wrecking Ball and the Sombra combo. And now Power Boost almost getting the res off, but just getting hacked off by Chronic, and the rest of the team just not knowing who to play with. Amplifier very discombobulated right now, just not playing together, just based off of that, you know, that backline pressure. We see Tap is going to use that duplicate onto Strider, and this is going to get eliminated immediately. And so many ultimates are in the bank for Pirates that they need to keep going, and Scissor gets the pulse bomb onto Buddy. Can they do more? The Transcendence was forced out, but Tap still picks up the kill onto Scissors. This is a 4v4 right now, but Amplify, I think, are backing off and just pumping the brakes a little bit.
Buddy is having so much trouble right now. He's getting picked off early almost every single fight, and Power Boost knows the reason why. On the Mercy, there really isn't anyone to peel and help that Ana when she's in trouble. Now you move on to a Brigitte, which helps out a lot, but Buddy just goes ahead and isolates himself. Gets in the tiny little room. There's no way the Brigitte is going to be able to get in there to help you, but he goes down early again. Pirates have really identified a exploitable point in this comp, and they have been hammering away at it over and over and over again. That 5-minute time bank is now down to 2.5 minutes, and Amplify just doesn't have an answer.
Buddy, I know you want to play Ana, and I know Ana is a phenomenal support, but into this composition, you are just going to get ran down every single time that they can, and now he's stuck in this little corner room, but Scissors got to be careful here. He actually goes down. Buddy gets the kill.
There you go.
Buddy was tired of being the one getting picked off and wanted to do the one that was picking off, and now Amplify, this is the numbers advantage that they need. Chronic's got to be careful, almost going to go down. We see Doge hopping in there, gets Zola, gets Z-Man. Supports are down, and Strider just causing chaos on the point. He's surely going to fall here in a second. Chronic goes down as well. 1 minute and 40 seconds on the time, but they're going to get this second point and bump it up to just over 3 minutes.
And the difference between what happened in that fight versus the rest of the fights is that Buddy was able to successfully fight back against the dive. I mean, partially because Amplify did a pretty solid job of peeling for Buddy. Buddy also did a good job staying out of the line of sight of Scissors. So, really nicely done, and they didn't have to use any ultimates to take that fight. So you're going to be coming up onto point C now, with 2.5 minutes still on the clock, and all 5 ultimates available. And you still manage to find Buddy, even though the pulse bomb doesn't hit. That's so unfortunate.
So many deaths happening. The Primal was forced out of Doge. If he does get hacked a little bit, got to be careful you don't fall down. You might have 400 health, but it's going to go down quickly. Gets the pick onto Chronic, and Scissors is still there. Strider gets a kill onto PGE, and Pirates, they got to get back soon. The DPS is the only one right now able to contest the point, and Strider, he's just hanging out up top for a second, you know, just punching the air, just getting ready for this next engagement, and goes in right there, but he is outnumbered right now. You got Tap up in the sky, just raining down fire, and gonna try and contest him up there. Does get the jump off, gets Tap to just under half, but it's just going to get healed back up, and now we see Doge hopping in there. He's gonna get purpled up, but the EMP gonna be used by Chronic. Scissors helps him get one, but the rally is forced out of Power Boost, and it's gonna go down. I mean, just look at this fight. It is all over the place. It is very split, but Pirates in Pyjamas are the ones coming out on top. Looks like a double kill on the leap right there out of Strider, and he wants more. He wants PGE, but is not going to be enough, and Pirates, they hold on for another day.
Strider swapping over to the Winston as well, getting off of the Wrecking Ball, knowing that this team needs a little bit more stability with that bubble, with those leaps, and definitely pays off early on here against Amplify, who have depleted their entire ult bank. PGE is almost up to the Pulse Bomb. That is all you're really working with, though. And you're still not quite there yet. Going into the Nano on the other side, which is just going to supercharge whoever Strider decides to jump on next.
Yeah, Scissors is in a very precarious position in the back line. Yeah, and he is just going to fall to Tap right there. And this is the opening that Amplify need to take. You have one less person to dive onto your back line, and they are going to go in. And it is PGE who picks off the other teams. Ana, Z-Man is going to fall. Zolik is getting very low himself. But Chronic and the gang, they're trying to stay alive. Strider is trying to just provide some type of space for his team to get out. It is 1.7 meters to capturing this point. 30 seconds remaining. Pirates don't have any ultimates, but Zolik is getting close, but it doesn't matter. Power Boost gets a kill, Tap gets another, and round one goes in favor of Amplify. They get that last point with 25 seconds, but dividing, they got the last point, and that's what matters.
That is totally what matters. And here's, I think, the big difference between Amplify and Map 1 versus Amplify and Map 2, right? Map 1, Amplify were running a May Sim composition that we both said didn't like it, didn't want them to keep on playing it. Amplify did not adjust. They kept on running this composition. They kept on trying to force it. Didn't work. They end up losing that composition. This time around, Amplify is in a similar situation where Buddy is consistently getting caught out in the middle of a fight, going down early, and then you don't have enough healing to sustain. Amplify is able to make the correct adjustments, moving Power Boost over to the Brigitte and have more defensive positioning. And because of that, Amplify are able to fight back and are able to really turn the tides of their attack. That is really what I want to see more of going into the rest of this series pod. I want to see Amplify playing that rock, paper, scissors game. I want to see them continuing to swap and counter swap instead of just trying to run a strategy, even if it's not working. Yeah,
it is. I've said this before in past broadcasts, and it is sometimes you really have to just swallow your pride and just say, okay, I need to change. I know I'm good on this hero. I know this, like, it's very good with my team, but sometimes it's just not working. And sometimes you need to make a change, and that change can make all the difference. And we see Chronic making a change this time around. He was playing Ashe at the very start of last on their defense, but had to swap over to the Sombra. And he was on the Sombra, but now I do like this Ashe pick, you know, sort of able to contest Tap a little bit in the skies, but Strider is just being a nuisance up there in the backline of Amplify, and it does look like Pirates are playing this exceptionally slow. And just as I say that, Scissors picks up a kill onto Buddy, picking up right where he left off, and Scissors got to be careful he does not fall himself. Does dash out, is in a 1v1 scenario with Tap, and Tap picks up the kill onto him, so no more numbers advantage for Pirates. And Tap trying to do the contest with Strider on the point, but isn't wanting to get in too deep or else he is going to fall. And the tick wasn't secured. Okay, the tick, it did just get secured, but I was about to say, Strider, if you didn't get it, man, you got to go back.
Nope, you got it done. In fact, you got two of them done, and you are going to have, that might be all you get, though, because Doge jumps back in, finds Jolik, and without that Brigitte healing, without the shield that you get from her, it becomes a lot more difficult to be able to continue to sustain. Amplify are going to actually use the rally here. They want to really push forward and end this fight before Pirates and Pyjamas can even think about getting back into it. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Amplify actually using okay. I liked the rally. They used the rally and the pulse bomb and the duplicate and the Primal Rage. I think that was too much.
Yeah, I think they might have done too much of their tank, and now you just really only have the nano boost out of Buddy, while Pirates, they do have Bob, and they might use it here in a second, but that's so close, 98.7 to the point. Amplify essentially have to play the rest of their time on this point, and Bob is going to fall, but Tap falls as well. Scissors is on the Echo this time around. It is really doing work so far. Buddy's got to be careful, but he does get the sleep off. It doesn't even matter, though. Pyjamas are going to secure this point, and Buddy is still going to fall after hitting a nasty sleep, and Power Boost is going to join him in the grave. And Pirates and Pyjamas, they did have 1 minute less after securing that point, but they still got the point with some nice time in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, 5 minutes compared to 4 minutes, it's not going to be that much of a difference here for Pirates and Pyjamas, especially considering how long they held up Amplify in point B. So a quick point B here for them would be a huge advantage going into the final stage of the map, but you don't really have anything to do it at the moment. Z-Man close to the nano boost is almost certainly going to have it. You just got to make sure you stay out of the range of the PGE Pulse Bomb, who is searching, is very much hunting for a target right now. Going to be able to just kind of chunk down Strider for the moment, but is definitely looking for a bigger fish.
Yeah, ultimates are coming online soon for Amplify, but PGE whiffs the Pulse Bomb and is going to pay for it with his life. But Chronic is traded back by Tap. Zoic is going to kill Tap in the process as well. So it's currently a 4v3. Doge has got to be careful he does not fall too. The barrier is going to provide him some extra time, but Buddy and Power Boost are just chilling on that little terrace right there. Strider gets slept. He's just taking a nap and he wants to fight. He dives in there, pops the Primal. He's slinging people around. Is he going to be able to get anyone? The rally was popped out of Power Boost. Pulse Bomb was used out of Scissors. Isn't going to get anyone. Strider just hitting as many people as he can. Doge is going to fall. PGE got nano boosted by Buddy. The stun lock isn't going to keep him alive. He is going to dash away. PGE, no more recall. Can he survive? Just getting locked up. He's so incredibly low. Is going to fall to the monkey punch right there. And Pirates and Pyjamas secure that second point with 4 minutes on the clock, and they want to keep the pedal to the metal.
I love that anti from Z-Man at the end of that fight, too. Got both Power Boosts and Buddy purpled up and taken down. And yeah, exactly. They have so much time here to be able to get that last little bit and give themselves an incredible advantage going into extra rounds. But Pirates and Pyjamas are going to have nothing but the Bob to work with, while you have the Duplicate and the Primal on the other side. So Tap really has to get a lot of value out of this, or maybe you don't need to get value out of the Duplicate if you can just get a 3K anyways.
Who needs an ultimate when it's a 4K? Give him the 5K. Give him the
no.
Scissors didn't want him to be put on the highlight reel. He wanted to make sure that it stopped right there, but a very resourceful fight out of Amplify, not having to use any ultimates. Tap just taking all of the matters into his own hands. And, you know, now you have the Duplicate, now you have the Pulse Bomb, now you have the Primal, and you're very close to a Nano. Pirates, though, they do have 2 ultimates and are coming on a 3rd, but Chronic is just going to get Pulse Bombed out. And that is going to stop the fight right before it can even begin. And now Pirates and Amplify, everyone's just hanging out in this small little room. They're just having a big party. No one brought cake, though. And the Pulse Bomb is not going to pick up Power Boost. Scissors really wish that would have connected on the outside of his body and not on the outside of his shield. And Amplify doing some very good defense this time around. Tap's got to be careful. Got purpled up, and he is going to fall to Scissors.
Yeah, beautifully done from Scissors and Z-Man to take out what has been recently the biggest threat on the Amplify roster, who still has that Duplicate available, but is going to have to wait to come back from spawn to do just that. As Pirates and Pyjamas are now approaching the end of the map, it's desperation time for Amplify. They got to put in all of the ultimates they have. Luckily, both support ults are currently active.
Tap, he had used the Duplicate on to Z-Man, actually kills Z-Man with his own biotic grenade, and this actually gets out of it right there. But Scissors got to be careful, doesn't want to fall to Doge right here. 1:35 remaining on the clock. Amplify still have 1 ultimate to their name. Strider dies as he's trying to escape. Pirates have 2 ultimates coming online with Zoic and the Tracer 1v1. Who's going to win? Place your bets. The recall from Scissors is going to keep him alive as Doge. He interrupted the mainly duel, and Z-Man picks up the kill onto Tap, a 4v5. Pirates, you gotta go now, but the stick onto Z-Man, it doesn't even matter. PGE trying to kill off the second support. The rally's gonna be used, he's gonna fall. He gets in too deep and is not able to get back out. Amplify, gotta be careful. You do not want to go here, and Scissors drops down to single-digit HP. You hate to see it if you're Amplify, and Chronic is on the Sombra now, trying to do work. Strider has to jump back in fear of falling, and Scissors gets a kill onto Power Boost. He wants the second support, but he doesn't want to fall himself. The stick onto Buddy. Goodbye, my friend. Scissors gets 2, and he is going to fall for his troubles, though. Amplify, they only have 3 members alive. Can they make it work? PGE on the point. We see Doge on the point as well. Both of them under half HP, just knocking around Power Boost, trying to get him away from the team. Amplify stalling for so incredibly long, less than 2 meters, and it is going to be secured.
Wow.
Amplify actually come out of that with more time than Pirates. Granted, it's only 1 second, but any extra time is extra time dividing.
Pod, I am so saddened to tell you this. This is so incredibly drawable. This is so incredibly drawable right now.
Oh.
Both teams basically have exactly 1 minute on the clock, and neither team were able to pick up point A in the first minute on their first go-arounds. They really took them multiple tries to build up those ultimates, and because of how far away the attacker spawn is from point A, it's not like some other maps where, like King's Row, where you're closer and you could probably get 2 fights in a minute. It's, you either have to lose a fight really quickly if you lose the first one, or you have to just take a very rushed fight for your second fight. It's just 2 fights doesn't really fit into 1 minute on Numbani, especially with the slower comps that both these squads are playing, both opting into the Echo dogfight between Scissors and Tap as well. So we will see who comes out on top in that one. Notably, Chronic is coming out with a very direct counter to the Echo in the Ashe, but PGE is going to stay on the Tracer and just try and get on the back line.
Yeah, with that Echo dogfight, I was going to point out, Pirates in Pyjamas seem to have some anti-aircraft guns with Chronic. Hopefully he can make that work for his team, but a minute is not a lot of time dividing. You really have to go with this composition. You can't just sort of wait around, wait to build up ultimates. You really have to, get aggressive early. And we see, look, almost half their time is gone already. So, just sitting in this little room, you're not doing anything. You gotta get going. I think Strider's looking for the right opportunity to go in. Is going to jump in onto
nice,
Buddy.
Andy.
And new power. And goodbye, Buddy. And goodbye, Tap as well. And Pirates, they seem to have secured it. PGE is gonna fall. The point is being secured. Power boost goes down as well. Doge is the only surviving member. And Pirates, that was as clean of a fight as they could have wanted.
The Z-Man is completely cracked. That is one of the most clutch anti-nades I think I have ever seen. Power Boost and Buddy were glued to each other. If you tried to jump onto the Ana, you would have had to deal with the Brigitte as well. But that anti-nade, getting rid of the healing, made it so that Buddy could do absolutely nothing but die. And now this game is no longer drawable, and every meter added onto this cart is bonus time for Pirates in Pyjamas.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, you have to stay on the cart for the rest of the game, and Tap is going to fall. Chronic almost picks up the headshot onto PGE right there, and Doge tries to get out. It is going to be sniped out of the sky by Chronic, and 3 members on the cart for Pirate. Now have 2, but Strider, he wants more. He wants to keep going in. Power Boost is next. PGE is in his sights, but is just going to run away, and Pirates in Pyjamas, they need to get 3 people on this cart. I mean, you really want to push as far as you can. They got 2 right now, and Strider is a very sneaky gorilla. He almost has that primal, and Pirates coming up on 5 ultimates, but so are Amplify. I think this next fight dividing is just going to be who hits Q faster and more efficiently.
Can Amplify stay composed is my question right now. They are in a very stressful situation where every meter they give, it's making it even more and more likely that they're going to go down 0-2 in the series, and the ults are coming out, and the picks are going the way of Pirates in Pyjamas. Tap in the back on the Ashe duplicate.
Gets slipped
by Z-Man. Isn't going to be enough, though. Power Boost, Raid bossing on the point. Point B is taken, but I think that is all we are going to see. 5 points with 1 minute for Pirates in Pyjamas. Clutch from this veteran squad, taking it to the rookies.
If Strider was able to survive a little bit longer, his teammates had the spawn, they could have gotten to him so incredibly quickly, but was just being attacked from too many different angles. And now, Amplify, you guys are in a tough place, as not only do you have to secure first point, you have to get to second point as well. Yep. And to try and guess that you are going to stagger Pirates as efficiently as they staggered you, that is a tall order to ask of you. And Pirates, I'm surprised they don't, try and throw a wrench in their composition and really just throw a curveball at Amplify. Because I mean, if you play something different, Amplify might not be ready for it. We see Amplify doing just that. They are on the Mercy this time around, not going to the Brigitte, just hoping that Buddy can stay alive. But Scissors isn't on the Echo this time around, is back on the Tracer. So I think Buddy might be having some flashbacks of whenever they were attacking the first time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because there are very limited avenues that the Tracer can use to try and flank around, especially on Numbani A. But you're absolutely right. I think Pirates and Pyjamas have successfully anticipated what Amplify were going to run here and have effectively counterpicked against it. The question is now, can Scissors deliver? Can Strider deliver? Z-Man has been doing an insane job on this map. Can he deliver as well? As now 40 seconds on the clock for Amplify. They're moving quickly compared to Pirates and Pyjamas in this scenario.
But Doge getting so incredibly low to finding himself back in the spawn room. And we see Chronic pick up a kill onto PGE, and Tapped is getting so incredibly low himself. But we see Amplify trying to get on the point, but all of their progression is just going to be drained back into the pit. And Chronic picks up a kill onto Doge as well in less than 20 seconds. Amplify, they got to be able to touch. I think they are still going to be able to, get something going. They do have the Tracer and the Winston to work with, but having no ultimates to their name, having nothing to work with except some hearty good feelings. Can they make it work? We see Doge hopping in onto the top there. Z-Man getting so incredibly close to dying. Power Boost is the first one to fall, though. Doge trying to get the kill onto Chronic. He is going to do it, but not before he falls himself. And PG trying to get one tick onto the point. It's not going to matter. Scissors is trying to buy as much time as he can. Both recalls have been used. The Pulse Bomb is online for Scissors, and he gets the stick! Goodbye, PGE, and Pirates going to take a confident 2-0 lead in this series.
It is so unfortunate here for Amplify because they were doing a really good job when it came to the first two regular rounds, right? They did a really solid job of adjusting and being able to minimize the impact of the Pirates and Pyjamas comps. But then the extra rounds came around and the pressure really started ramping. And that's when we saw Pirates and Pyjamas thrive, and unfortunately, it's when we also saw Amplify kind of falter. And again, it feels like I'm gonna be making excuses for this team a lot because I want to see these guys succeed. It is their first day as a contenders team. This specific team, again, it is mostly a new roster. So there are going to be some growing pains to figure out as they continue moving on. So. A lot of promising stuff shown in that Numbani map, but unfortunately it is going to take a reverse sweep in order for them to get back into this series now. And it just feels like mentally it's a really tough scenario to come back from, especially after the first game, which we're going to keep pushing back to because I think it does play into the storyline of this game, which is Amplify going through that and then trying to come back for game 2.
Yeah, really just trying to reset your mental after that first series, go into the second series, and then just having more of the same. Because, I mean, just like you were saying, in the first 2 rounds, they played great. In attacking and defending, they adapted, they adjusted their composition, they started picking off different people. It really made a difference. But see, I play chess, and whenever you get down to low time and you have maybe like 20-30 seconds, you start making mistakes. You start doing things because you're trying to think too fast, you're trying to move too quickly, and then all of a sudden you're just gonna mess up, you're gonna start losing pieces, you're going to start falling behind. And I think that's what Amplify were that's ultimately what they did.
And
They were trying to do too many things at one time, and it ultimately just blew up in their face.
And when you look at how both these teams approach their 1-minute fights, I think that definitely holds true. Where Pirates and Pyjamas took a lot of time to make sure they were safely moving from point to point, trying to get some time up and find an opportunity. And then when the opportunity came with a double anti-nade from Z-Man, that's when they struck.
Yeah.
Even when the pressure was high, they were very slow, they were very controlled. Meanwhile, Amplify were rushing to get to the point. They were trying to dive as fast as possible. It felt a lot more frantic compared to how Pirates and Pyjamas handled it, and I think that's a pretty solid reason as to why it didn't end up working nearly as well. So Pirates and Pyjamas now down 2-0. Have to win this next map in order to stay alive and avoid an 0-2 start to the Contenders Summer Series. They're going to take us to Gibraltar to lay down their hammers, so to speak. So what do you think we're going to be seeing out of this team as we go there?
I mean, I think with Watchpoint Gibraltar, there is a lot of different compositions that you can run. We saw that they were somewhat comfortable with that dive. So, I mean, I would not be surprised if we saw that as well. You know, maybe if they were starting off on the attack, you know, TPing over and then jumping over to that high ground could really make the difference. Or, you know, just fighting Pirates and Pyjamas head on, you know, just rushing in there, because it all except for, you know, the first and the third. So in that little middle section, you can play something like a brawl a little bit better because it is a lower ceiling. It's a lot closer combat, except for that little high area. But other than that, I mean, you could play something like the Ramatra if you really wanted to. But I do think we are just going to see more of the dive out of these people.
Sure.
You know, PGE on the Tracer, tap on the Echo. Maybe switch up that right there. I mean, if you're going to change something, maybe instead of Echo, maybe you go Pharah, maybe you go something a little bit more aggressive like that, because you can really do some nice damage to the back line of Pirates. You know, those rockets, they deal a little bit more damage than the Echo, you know, shots right there. But Amplify, they got to change something. At the very least, they got to figure out what to do to combat Pirates and Pyjamas, who so far looking like an incredibly flexible team.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like Pip, when the Gibraltar pick came in, are just like, yeah, sure, we'll just beat you at dive again. Why not? Right? Yeah. Like, they have proven and they're now confident in this matchup against Amplify. So playing into a dive heavy map once again, it feels like Amplify are kind of running themselves into a wall here unless they have some kind of switch up here. Whether it's, like you said, the Pharah instead of the Ana. Maybe you have Buddy run the Kiriko for a little more survivability instead of the Ana. There's a couple different things you could go to. I will be slightly disappointed if Amplify comes out with the exact same comp that they were running before, because it's just not working. And I don't think it matters whether you're on Numbani or you're on Gibraltar. You got that. The map change isn't going to be enough to spark something new, I don't think, unless like Tap just starts absolutely popping off and taking over the game, which he can do. I've seen it happen. So we need to see something different from Amplify. I absolutely agree.
You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And you know, maybe it is just a mixture of tilt and a mixture of, you know, just not playing on maps that you are as comfortable on. Because keep in mind, Numbani was their pick, and they still lost on it. That's not to say that they messed up or Pirates and Pyjamas, you know, just really played a better game. While I think they did, that's not the sole reason that all of that happened. And Amplify choosing this one, wanting to bounce back, wanting to be a reverse sweep, wanting to have a reverse sweep for themselves, and Pirates playing something that we all know and love, Strider back on that wrecking ball.
Oh, absolutely. You have so many high grounds to take advantage of here. Knock people off of them. Get yourself onto those high grounds. Knock people around. Knock people off. Roll through pile drives. You have so many different. It's like a jungle gym to Wrecking Ball, honestly, and it's going to be so cool to see Strider take advantage of everything that Gibraltar has to offer on this map. Meanwhile, though, Amplify starting off on the attack. They are going to be the ones to kind of set the pace here. We will see where they end up going with this one. It looks like it's going to be mostly the same. Tap's going to TP Amplify over to the other side of the wall, and then probably move over to that Tracer. And we are, unfortunately for Amplify fans out there, picking up right where we left off with Scissors taking down Buddy.
Yeah, if I was Buddy this time around, I'd be pretty frustrated that my team really wants me to keep playing this Ana pick, because like I said, Ana, phenomenal support. You could really do a lot with her, but it's just not working out as well as you would want it to if you are Amplify. Maybe swap it over to something. We see Pirates and Pyjamas. They are running a little bit of a off-meta support with the Zenyatta. He's still incredibly good. And Buddy, oh, please. Okay, I thought it was going to happen again, but luckily Power Boost was there to help out his fellow support, and that's a nice dynamite right there out of PGE.
Ooh, good anti.
Doge get the kill
revenge of Buddy, man.
Buddy, he's out for blood this game. He's not wanting to continue to be the punching bag of Pirates in Pyjamas, and so far they are getting a nice push off, and the forts are just going to fall for Pirates in Pyjamas, and this is the time for Amplify to really get some percentage going. And Scissors almost falls out there, does grab the health pack, and Doge gotta be careful. He does get stuck. Actually, Tap is the one who gets stuck right there, and Chronic trying to, pick off as many people as he can. Gets one, gets two headshots. Holy moly, Chronic just really just having a great first two games.
I mean, no one's even looking at Chronic right now is part of the problem. Just hanging out there on the high ground. PGE has swapped over to an Ashe of his own, but at least before then, had absolutely no one contesting him on the high ground, so just free to get headshot after headshot. The time bank for Amplify now down to 2 minutes, but all the ultimates are starting to come online here for them. You cannot lose Buddy to Strider again, no! Instead it's PGE coming out on top with the Ashe, takes down Scissors.
PGE picks off Buddy's biggest threat right there. Buddy can sleep soundly now, knowing that there's no more Tracer, but a nice minefield over across the payload, going to make it really difficult to try and get in there and get some percentage, but Dynamite is really just going to shred all of that down. Doge gets a pick onto Zolek, and Strider is going to fall as well. PGE doing work on this Ashe so far, and he does have the Bob available if need be. Scissors is going to fall. Doge is going to fall as well, but the point is going to be secured by Amplify. They're going to get that extra spawn up, and Amplify, they're not done. They're trying to pick off all of the stragglers of Pirates, and now they can really get some good push going.
Even with the recent map changes that came through on Gibraltar, it can still be one of the most oppressive defensive holds if you manage to take control of the top of the Gibraltar spaceship. So makes a lot of sense that Amplify are really pushing forward, trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. They still have 3 ults to do it.
Yeah, PGE is just going to burn down to the Dynamite and Scissors' pulse guns right there, and Scissors trying to just be a nuisance overall. And Strider, speaking of nuisance, just rolling around on the point. Z-Man going to fall to the primal rage of Doge. We see the rally is going to be used as well. Doge gets 2 and almost Pulse Bomb is going to kill, but Power Boost dies anyways. Scissors dashes in and punches him right in the nose. Doge has got to be careful as well. Health bar incredibly low. PGE is going to fall to Scissors, uses the recall back in. Doge, he wants to get out, but he's not going to find it. Scissors on a tear right there. Holy moly.
And now here's exactly what Amplify was scared of, which is so now Chronic is able to take control of those Gibraltar high grounds. It's going to be so difficult for Amplify to poke their heads out of these little doorways without immediately getting poked at by Z-Man, by Chronic, even by Strider, who is constantly looking for that pile drive. So while Amplify does have 2 ults to work with, the first order of business is figuring out a way to get to the point.
Yeah, getting to the point is priority numero uno, and Z-Man almost dying right there, and Tap falls to the Dynamite of Chronic, and Doge, he keeps trying to run in there and just falls himself. A nice sleep onto Chronic right there. Buddy gets a kill for himself. It is 2 supports versus 2 supports. Who will win? Strider picks up a kill onto PGE and has now joined his team. Buddy and Power Boost are in there. Power Boost gets 1 onto Zolik, and the nano boosted Brigitte. That is everyone's worst nightmare right there. Gets 1 onto Z-Man almost gets another onto Scissors. He's gonna, actually, is he gonna be able to get it? Scissors has no recall. Tap has joined the fray as well, and they are going to team up and kill him right there. And now the cart is getting pushed. They are staggered a little bit, and Pirates got to be careful.
Yeah, they do have to be very careful here. Make sure that they don't end up getting anything. Strider with a very early minefield, trapped power boost, and takes out the Brigitte. What a play. And then the pile drive squishes PGE like a hammer to a nail. How about Buddy too? Yeah, okay, Scissors helps him out, but that's basically a Strider kill as well. My goodness, the Wrecking Ball player comes up huge. Right when Amplify was looking like they were about to take point B, Strider just walks in and says, nope, I will be taking that back. No time extension for you. Just 1 minute on the clock for Amplify, and now PGE has swapped to Sombra to try and hack Strider as much as possible. Can they get Scissors, though? This is really interesting. Kind of caught in no man's land here, Pod.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that too much. You're spending so much time trying to pick off Scissors right there, and you're not getting anything out of it. But the back cap is trying to be done right there. Scissors is not going to let it happen just yet. And Tap and Buddy are going to be the first victims right there. And now the 3v5, Z-Man trying to be the offensive tool that his team needs, apart from the other two that they already have. And Doge gets out with just under half HP. No, he's going to die to Strider's little pile driver right there. And holy moly, less than 20 seconds. Amplify, they have 2 ultimates to work with, coming up with 1 more with the Primal Rage, but Scissors is lurking around. He has the Pulse Bomb. He knows that there's 2 supports right there. Is going to stick Buddy right in the back, and Buddy is going to fall. They have no more Ana for you right here. And Strider has got to be careful. Uses that shield right there to keep him alive, and he's trying to run around. Gets blocked by some boxes right there. Overtime is ticking down. Primal is going to be popped out of Doge. The Discord is going to make it so much more difficult for him to exist. The overtime ticking down once again, the minefield making it very difficult for Doge to jump around. Overtime is going to fade away, and Pirates in Pyjamas holding even before they can get to point B.
And now, Pirates in Pyjamas, all that separates them from a 2-0 start to week 1, day 1 of Contenders Summer Series is 1.74 meters. An incredibly achievable mark to hit here. And that's all they need to do to finish us off 3-0. End off this series a little bit early, get to bed, get a nice bit of shut-eye for day 2. That being said here, Pod, Amplify is going to have plenty of opportunities to pull off a better defensive hold. You have the entirety of point A, most of point B to work with, which means not only do you have all of the high grounds that point A has to offer, you're also going to be able to take full advantage of that Gibraltar spaceship. So many defensive tools that Amplify is going to be able to use, so many high grounds they're going to have, and they're going to be running still with the Sombra. So Amplify running out with this first. Again, I think the goal with this is to try and hack Strider as much as possible, to try and interrupt the rhythm of the Wrecking Ball player.
We see Scissors on the Symmetra going to TP the team over. And how about just a little bit of a shout out to Chronic. Been playing a heck of a series so far on this Ashe. He was on the Hanzo. Very sad we're not going to be seeing that, but the Ashe has been paying off for him and his team, and that TP is going to, really make a difference right here. But it's only Scissors that, wait, why didn't no one else? They just left him to die. Zolika just goes in by himself and just dies.
Well, that was a prank. That was not very funny, Pirates in Pyjamas. But luckily, your spawn point is right there, so Joel's gonna be able to rejoin the fight in just a little bit. And already tons of pressure being put onto the squishier members of Amplify. No one down yet, but notably Scissors already halfway to a pulse bomb.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we saw Scissors continue to run rampant in the back line of Amplify, but nice sleep onto Strider right there. He's got to be careful he doesn't fall. Z-Man trying his best to add some extra damage for his team. Everyone knows those Zenyatta orbs can really hurt someone if you're not careful, and almost gets a nice little volley onto the supports of Amplify. And Tap trying to play Ring Around the Rosie with Scissors here. Who's going to win? Tracer 1v1. Z-Man is going to fall to PGE. Recalls are used. Place your bets now, and PGE just causing a ruckus in the backline of Pirates, and nice translocator up there. Scissors 12 HP is going to fall to PGE. Didn't want to respect the 1v1, How dare he? And Amplify holding pretty good so far.
Yeah, still quite early in this defense, but it's doing quite well. Clearly, Strider immediately feels the pressure on this Wrecking Ball, which is why you swap on over to the Winston, trying to match Doge, and again, provide the team with a little more stability here. We saw this happen in Numbani to great effect. We'll see if they can do it again here.
A nano boost onto Doge right there, but he's not able to get anything just yet. But Scissors is going to fall with the help of an EMP. PGE gets 2. They want Strider as well. Is he going to be able to get out? Pops the barrier, and does look like Chronic is the target of Doge right there. The barrier is going to help provide some protection. And Chronic, you got nowhere to go except the spawn room, my friend. Amplify taking the time bank down to less than 2 minutes. Can Pirates and Pyjamas bounce back? They got 2 ultimates working on 3 more. And Amplify, they have 3 ultimates right now.
Yeah, I mean, Pirates are going to have probably all 5 ultimates come online at some point in this next fight. So you have all the tools you need to dislodge Amplify from this high ground, but you need to be able to find that opening pick. Buddy is out by himself, but the peel from Power Boost is incredible. Keeps him alive for a while before Chronic finds that headshot.
Oh, Stick just barely missing out of tap, but yeah, it is a 4v5 for the moment. Pirates need to use this time to fight and engage. Power Boost is going to fall as well. No more heals for the time being. Buddy is working his way back to help his team out. Bob is going to pick up a kill on to tap right there, and Pirates are going to secure this first point. And now Buddy is in there, and Buddy is just going to go back to the spawn room himself, and that's a very poor stagger.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate to lose the Honest so late in that fight. Again, just like we saw earlier on, this is going to let Pirates and Pyjamas get set up early on this point B, get on these high grounds, make sure that Amplify doesn't get access to the rocket ship for free. But they're still going to fight for it. They're coming back very quickly into this fight. Jolik Andy taken out by PGE. Nice little link up between PGE and Buddy to take out the Brigitte. It's going to be very hard for Pirates and Pyjamas to sustain now.
Yeah, Scissors really not wanting to use the pulse bomb on the Winston, but uses it instead on the tap, and Buddy! Scissors having a heck of a game on this Tracer, but now it is a 2v1. Can he kill PGE and Power Boost? It's not going to matter. Strider is going to fall to PGE right there, but the cart is still moving. 2.5 minutes, and they are so incredibly close to this next point. Tap is going to stop it right there, and Scissors got to be careful he doesn't fall. He is within a lot of people right now, and he's got to run out, and he is still going to fall. He's gotten too deep and couldn't find his way back to his team. And now that's a pretty nasty stagger. You got to wait a little bit for your flanking tool with him. And we do see Chronic is back on the Hanzo and is already dead.
Yeah, Amplify are actually doing a really good job right now with their ultimates, holding on to them, and Top will hold on to it for a little bit longer as you get one clipped by Scissors there. The EMP gets a nicely done onto the tank and both supports. Z-Man had no chance of living through that one. That is going to delay Pirates and Pyjamas even more. But what they are doing really nicely is continuing to pressure the cart. You're not letting Amplify get too aggressive, get too over-aggressive, because if you do, Scissors might just take this cart over the finish line. So you need to stay vigilant. You need to stay, oh, you're all up there. Nicely done from Tap. It could have been way worse than just Chronic. But yeah, again, but again, one ult is going to delay Pirates and Pyjamas for another 20 seconds, and more stuff from Tap is going to do even more.
Yeah, about to say, it's really going to delay you if you keep staggering yourself, but this is very good out of Amplify, getting the picks that they need, picking off the targets that they need to do. But Buddy has got to be careful he doesn't fall right here. Health bar getting so incredibly low, and he is going to fall. Strider having to pop the Primal Rage. Can he get both supports? Power Boost being juggled around right there, so incredibly low, and the supports are dead for Amplify. A counter Primal used out of Doge right there. Scissors almost getting the kill onto Tap. The EMP is not coming through just yet, but a hack onto Scissors is going to make the difference. PGE getting so close to the EMP. Is it going to be enough? Uses the EMP. It's not going to hit as many people as you want. Tap, but 2 kills is going to make the difference. Tap gets another. Is it going to survive? And it is 30 seconds. But Amplify, they only have 1 ultimate. Power Boost is getting close. Tap hasn't just had his. Tap, but Strider is on the Doomfist now. You know everyone is desperate. Solik on the Lucio. Z-Man on the Moira. It is desperation time for Pirates.
Tap so close to the pulse bomb, has the opportunity to be the hero right here. This is last fight completely for this squad, and one pick from this pulse bomb could be all you need. Looking around, gets the stick, and is only going to force the translocate out of PGE as Pirates get pick after pick. How about a 3K from Scissors to finish it off? Pirates in Pyjamas with a 3-0 over Amplify start the Summer Series with a 2-0 record.
Who knew that the composition they actually needed contained a Doomfist, a Moira, a Lucio? Yeah, you know, they played that last little bit so incredibly well, but Tap, he got such a nice stick onto Scissors, and I thought that was the end of it. I thought, okay, Scissors goes down, that's the end of it, but he still had the recall available, and that's what made the, because I'm sure Tap thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tap was like, all right, I just got Scissors, we're good guys, we win this fight, and then as soon as that happened, he realized how far in he was.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, I had dashed in to get this kill, and it's like, uh-oh, I don't have anyone around me. Falls to the rest of Pirates, and just like you said, going 2-0 in this week one, looking so incredibly dominant, dividing. They dropped one map. One map indeed for this squad. It's a very, very good start from them. Yeah, looking incredibly well. And for Amplify, there were flashes of brilliance from this team. I think they're definitely one to watch, especially as we go into weeks 2 and 3. Yes.
They're going to be able to VOD review themselves. They're going to learn from their mistakes. We saw a lot of really solid play from Tap, from Buddy, from Doge. While the synergy, the positioning mistakes are definitely there right now, those are fixable. And these are players that are veterans enough in the scene to know how to fix these and come back for a successful run in future years. Definitely don't count out Amplify when you see them come up on your schedule in weeks 2 and 3.
Yeah, and what I like about a lot of these contenders teams is it's not something where they are going to play every single match the exact same way. They're not going to change anything. It's like, no, if they start losing, they're going to examine themselves, just like you were saying. They're going to VOD review. They're going to talk to their coach. They're gonna scrim against teams and really try and figure out, okay, what do we need to change? Is it our hero pool? Is it our compositions as a whole? Maybe we need to sub out 1 or 2 players. Maybe we need to, just overhaul how we play completely. And, that's very hard to do sometimes, but sometimes it is what you have to do to make it work, to start winning. Because like we said earlier in the stream, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And granted, this is a very small sample size. It is only 2 matches. And the first one, they took it to all 5 games. This one, obviously, they got 3-0'd. So Pirates in Pyjamas just looking so incredibly strong in this first day of matches.
Yeah, they looked incredibly strong, and I'm very pleased to say we actually have an interview for the post-game here with the Ana player for Pirates in Pyjamas, Z-Man. Z-Man, welcome to the call, and congratulations on the 2-0 start to the season.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll just start off. I mean, first you guys had a 3-1 victory over Good Boys, and then just coming into this second match against Amplify. Did you guys have any type of break in between those matches, or did you guys just all right, let's just roll right into this one, just try and keep the momentum going, and just try and just make the exact same things you were doing in that first series and apply it to the second one?
Well, we finished our series a little bit before Amplifies, so we had to wait like 20 minutes, but then we got right in as soon as all the prod was ready and stuff. So we basically kept it rolling as soon as we could after waiting for their match to finish.
Yeah, and then I mean, just talk to us about your guys' play style in comparison to Amplify, because we saw on Lijiang Tower and Amplify tried to make some compositions work. They played the Symmetra on Control Center. Were you guys really prepared for that, or was that something you guys just knew how to deal with immediately?
Yeah, for the sim specifically, the first team that we played today also ran the Ryan sim comp, and so we already had talked about how we want to like change our play style and play the angles different. So we were already like fairly prepared for that, and I think it showed in our performance. The Lijiang was pretty dominant, and yeah, their play style, I don't know, they just press buttons.
Yeah, and sometimes it works. I am curious. I'm curious to know your perspective because Amplify, are basically an entirely new team here on Summer Series compared to Spring Series. Was there anything in specific that you guys were preparing for them? Because Doge, Tap, and their whole support line, Buddy and Power Boost, were all new players this season.
Yeah, so Amplify specifically, we've like haven't scrimmed with their new roster, so we had no idea what they were gonna run. We had no idea what their strengths were. We just came in like all guards up. You know, we knew we were gonna play our game, and one thing that we've gotten really good at this season so far is like adapting, talking about what we want to do. You know, especially when people run like weird comps, like the Good Boys team, they run that Doom. You know, we just need to talk as a team and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, communication. Oh, here, go ahead, Divine.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys were clearly doing a very good job of communicating and adapting on the fly, and I want to take a moment to really zoom in on I think the key moment of the game, which was extra rounds on Numbani, where you guys were only 1 second apart, and your guys' attack was very measured. It's very easy to panic when you only have a minute on the clock, but you guys were slow and steady. You made sure you were in a position, and it was you who really opened things up with a beautiful anti-nade onto the support line of Amplify. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how that fight in specific was like set up, how you guys stayed calm in that high pressure situation.
Yeah, no, that shit was scary. We basically have to put all of our eggs in that one basket. It's hard to build nano in like 1 minute. And so I've been practicing that nade, you know, because Numbani first is infamously hard to break, especially when you don't have like an alt rotation and you only have a minute. So I just said, hey, we're going to play for this nade. Took my nice time setting it up, and thankfully it paid off. And it was, you know, probably one of the like coolest moments of my career so far, to be honest. It was really cool.
It was really cool, I gotta say. That was awesome.
Yeah, gonna throw that one on the highlight reel for sure. And something I want to talk about as well. Talk to us about Chronic and about Chronic's, you know, place on this team, because is a rookie to the team and to contenders and everything like that. How easy was it to, you know, sort of mold him into your guys' composition, how you guys like to play, or was it something that you guys were just all, you know, just all ears with how he wanted to play, and you're like, okay, let's adapt to it? You know, what was the process with implementing him?
Yeah, so we have a fairly inexperienced team in general, but obviously Chronic is the only rookie. He is so good at Widowmaker and Sombra. It's unreal. And so with like Widow, he literally just kills things. So like our Circuit Royale has gotten so much better. And then our coordination has struggled a little bit in scrims, but you know, as time goes on, we've just constantly been getting better, and including his like very good Sombra playstyle into the team, and it's worked really well. And he's just so good.
It has worked out incredibly well for you, and you guys are off to a blazing start in the Contenders Summer Series while you are here on the stream, on the Pirates in Pyjamas official stream here, Z-Man. Anyone you want to shout out, anything you want to say?
They probably should have played some Derpy today. I feel like Derpy's a really good player.
I wanted to see Derpy too, I'm not going to lie.
Or even Zeb.
I'm with you there.
I mean, love both of them. All my friends supporting means so much. And my partner too. Thank you all.
Very awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here on the Pirates in Pyjamas stream. We have Pirates in Pyjamas 3-0ing Amplify, walking away this week, or sorry, today with a 2-0, you know, just schedule for themselves. They're just looking pretty hot going into day 2. Maybe they can keep the momentum going. Maybe it's going to slip up. Who knows? The only way to find out is if you tune in and watch the game. So I've been Pod Slim. Over there has been Dividing. Thank you to production. Thank you to everyone that has been involved. And make sure you tune in tomorrow for the rest of the games. You all have a great night.